Hey, it's Big Rob here, just hanging out, waiting for a travel partner to get off work. Looks like I'm being photobombed by the Brett Biggin back there. He riding along with me, dirty, so to speak. Not so much because he's armed and dangerous, just because he stinks. So, anyway, just want to get a little video on here about AOC. Now, I promised myself, let's try that. I promised myself months ago, when that dirty, no good New York skank was elected by her district, probably no less retarded than she is, but she was elected and began to say really stupid shit on the national news. And it seems to me like this Rashida Tlaib and this Ilhan Omar and AOC, you know, the only time anybody pays attention to them is when they're saying really dumb shit. So anyway, I don't know if anybody's heard, but she went to Puerto Rico to visit her granny, who's sick. And poor granny, living in squalor. The family home was destroyed by Hurricane Maria, or at least portions of it. From the pictures I've seen, it looks bad. But hey, you know, she just bought her a new Tesla. So, you know, she's not doing too bad. Apparently she's got a couple luxury apartments in Washington and maybe one back in New York City. Long and the short of it is, you know, she got on the internet, took some pictures of her granny's apartment, and proceeded to blame Trump and the Republicans for not, you know, sending aid to Puerto Rico so granny could rebuild her house. Well, here's the truth about that, is what I remember about Hurricane Maria. I was planning to go on a trip to Puerto Rico before that sucker hit. And hurricane hits, and you know, the whole damn world comes to the aid of Puerto Rico because it's basically been blown over. And Trump sends the Navy, sends the Coast Guard, sends the Red Cross, and billions of dollars in aid. And corporations, you know, that set up cell service were out there repairing the cell tower so people could communicate. And rescue workers and teams could communicate. So it was a massive effort to start to repair and rebuild Puerto Rico. The governors and the mayors, the duly elected officials that are out there, the liberals, the lefties, proceeded to just whine about how they weren't getting this and weren't getting that, and not enough aid, not enough help, not enough materials. Lo and behold, sometime after that, and I don't remember exactly when, mayor or the governor of Puerto Rico was caught withholding supplies. Warehouses full of supplies a month later, 2 months later. Nothing like, you know, these weren't cotton balls or anything like that, but, you know, fresh water. Withholding warehouses full of fresh water and food for people to eat, and things of that nature. Building supplies, money, cash disappearing. Same old shit. You know, with these government bureaucrats, they start seeing money and materials come in their direction, and they're going to filter it off in other directions and take possession of it for themselves, and then claim that the administration isn't sending anything. Well, we all know it's bullshit because several of these officials went to jail. Now, fast forward to this dumbass gets on the internet with pictures blaming Trump. She's knocking down $1.75 a year. Best job she's ever had. 2 luxury apartments and a Tesla. I don't even have a Tesla, and I worked my ass off. Blaming Trump because granny's living in an apartment. So, in true conservative fashion, they set up a GoFundMe account. These conservatives who hear about her plight, and folks over at Daily Wire, love those guys. Ben Shapiro, Matt Walsh, whatever his name is. I enjoy listening to their commentary, and I do pay a little bit of money. That's a disclaimer. I do pay a little bit of money to subscribe. Set up a GoFundMe account. Before you know it, it's got plenty of money to rebuild her house. AOC decides, no, we're not going to take your money because your money isn't green enough or good enough or whatever. They shut it down. And once it's shut down, GoFundMe sends all the donations back to the people that donated. Now, was this a political stunt? Was this, you know, them thumbing their nose at AOC and her bullshit policies? or just a group of regular good people getting together to help out a little old lady. In my opinion, maybe they were just thumbing their nose at her, but the GoFundMe account was set up for AOC's grandma because of the publicity. She drew to her grandmother's plight, not understanding that most Americans realize that AOC is ahead of the curve. She's wealthy, and she's wealthy because she's had book deals, and she's wealthy because she's wearing designer clothes, and she drives a Tesla. She's wealthy. She's caught. You're a communist who's wealthy. That's what you are. And then you're going to spring your grandmother on Twitter and all this kind of stuff, trying to make people feel sorry for you, or try to hurt Trump, or embarrass Republicans. You're a skank. You're a scumbag. And I don't believe this is as low as you can go. I remember when you were posing for pictures on the border and pretending to cry in front of cameras and all that kind of stuff. I remember that. It was bullshit then. It's bullshit now. You know what else? You're bullshit. That's how you get, on TV and Twitter and all this kind of stuff. And maybe a few 100,000 people or a few million people are stymied by your bullshit, but the rest of us aren't. We know you're full of shit. We know that the things you say are full of shit. We know that your thinking has no bedrock in reality. And that's the easiest way to put it. You're the only person I can know. I think I know. Well, maybe I don't know. I don't know you personally. But in terms of politicians, you're right up there with the type of person, the sophist, the type of person who could talk out of both sides of their mouths. You're saying a lot of stuff. I hear the Democrat governor of the state where I'm currently working saying a lot of stuff on the radio, just babbling away, saying a lot of stuff, using a lot of words that don't mean anything. So AOC, how about you do this? How about you start kicking out some of those Tesla payments to your little granny, helping her out, maybe bring her to Washington, show her around, introduce her to the strangers who wanted to help her out, because why? You made her famous. You made her famous. We're sick of your bullshit. We're sick of your lies. We're sick of your rhetoric, your divisiveness. Listen, AOC, this is the last time I'm going to tell you. I don't want no bad to come to you, but you need to realize that Republicans and conservatives and Americans aren't the ones hurting people. You are. Your bullshit policies, your lack of thinking, the things that you say don't help anybody. It certainly ain't helping you. I'm reminded of a phrase, and I don't remember which quote it is, but I'm sure I'll think of it later, or somebody who's listening or watching this will think of it. I believe it was a philosopher or maybe a general or something that said that it was one thing to be thought of as a fool and an entirely different matter to open your mouth and remove all doubt. But we all have no doubt that you, AOC, are a fool, a damn fool. That's Big Rob. I'm just a guy over 50. What do I know?